It was a really entertaining start to the Premier League weekend. Let's hope that's a sign of things to come, because we're going to start by taking a look at the Manchester derby. It is at Old Trafford, Manchester United taking on Manchester City. Let's hear from Pep Guardiola. But first, Erik Ten Hag.
Quite clear, last time we did well, so we have to do tomorrow better. We know where we have to work on. And it's not only fun, it's coming overnight. No, there was a process in the last months where we developed, where we progressed, and now we have face it against better teams. So we're looking forward to it, and I think that's one of the things is about the mental approach, the mental attitude. So we have to be brave, and we have to act with belief.
I had the feeling every time I've been in Old Trafford or Man United came here, and Etihad Stadium always have been a difficult game. A part was in our side, a part against, but always the word attractive games because both teams want to try to, win the game with a lot of quality players in both sides. So top class managers. So yeah, it will be a good game.
A good game. I reckon it's going to be a brilliant game. It always is in the Manchester derby, isn't it, guys? Manchester United against Man City. Probably a little bit of revenge wanted from Manchester United as well after they were embarrassed 6-3 in the reverse fixture, Karen. But is this the best form Man United have been in heading into a Manchester derby in a long time?
I was speaking to someone yesterday and they were like, they had them as favourites. And I think, actually, they're not far wrong there.
Was that in the pub?
Yeah, it was actually on a Thursday.
How many drinks?
But no, it was. Couldn't tell you the last time I got into a Manchester derby and thought Man United could be favourites. But those City have been getting the results minus the cup. They haven't been playing particularly well, and as you mentioned, the Man United form has been impeccable. Clean sheets, winning run, which I think 8 games. It's been really good. There's something about them. They're at home as well, so. It's got everything in their favour, I think. It's a good opportunity and they have to take it.
Tim, you still think Manchester City are going to win this, though, don't you?
I do. Even though they're on the back of a defeat in the Carabao Cup, which there have been serial winners of, I think they will get back on the horse. I really do. I think Pep will pick a team best suited to win the football match, as he always does. I don't think he'll tinker with the side too much. If it was, he will treat this as if it's a cup final tomorrow. I really believe that, and I think he needs to beat the local rivals to get the fans back on side, because any defeat at Man City is a crisis. So to have two and to have one against Man United will be devastating for him, and he won't want to experience that, and I don't think he will.
It was funny because a few days ago in a press conference, he said he was going to employ some ridiculous tactics in order to beat Manchester United. In today's press conference, he said he was only joking with that. So he's obviously trying... he was probably in a playful mood the other day when he said it. But we always expect these games to be exciting and maybe for Pep Guardiola to do something a bit different.
But he did do something, he has done. I think the last few games he has. And he did at Chelsea in the league when he played with that 3 in and out of that back line in midfield. But it didn't work, so he did revert back to type. And maybe he was stubborn to try and stick with that, but it hasn't worked. But you can never put it past him. He loves to tinker with the team. So again, and he's an ultra tactician. Sometimes people have criticised him for overthinking it, in Champions League finals. But you never doubt what he does.
He called himself a genius the other day. I'm quite enjoying this mood Pep Guardiola's in at the moment. He's been very playful with the press.
Yeah, well, he is a genius. I could back that up for him. Listen, I think the real common denominator in this game is Haaland. There's no secret he dislikes Manchester United, not because he plays for Man City, because his dad obviously had that history with Roy Keane in the fixture many years ago, if anyone out there can remember it. But that boy certainly can. So he scored a hat-trick last time out. He rested him midweek. He's raring to go. He had no World Cup. This boy wants to play in a rhythm now. He wants to play every single week. And I think from here on in, he will continue to play. And I think tomorrow he could be a real thorn in the side of Manchester United, just like he is to every other team he plays against.
Well, he's an unbelievable player, Karen. And he also seems the type of character that he wants to play in these big games, and you expect him to score in every game that he features in.
It's that cliche, big game player, but he just epitomises it. He's just fearful. He's just got swagger. And to go into a Manchester City team, and at times, he's made some of the Manchester City players look average, and they're unbelievable. That's how good he is, and that's the impact that he's had. Yeah. And you're right, he'll be well up for it. But I do think that Casemiro will have a big part to play in it. If you stop the source into him, that's how you stop him.
Yeah. Problem is that he won't go and look for it to feet.
No.
You know, he'll be stretching them out. He'll be going the other way. They have to keep their wits about them. You know, they have to be very disciplined. Midfield at the moment for Manchester United is very, very good. Casemiro's a real important component for them, but with Bruno and Christian Eriksen either side, they've got creativity there as well. Marcus Rashford's back to some real form, playing with a lot of confidence. Look, you're absolutely right, Jules. It's the best chance I've had for a long time going into it.
Thanks,
the confidence is high, but I just think it might be a bridge too far. I really do. I know it's a good time to play Man City because they're not firing on all cylinders, but this is Man City. You don't have to fire on all cylinders to beat Manchester United. I'm sorry for the Man United fans out there, but I just can only see one winner.
Thing is, though, is Manchester United aren't going to want to be embarrassed in their own backyard. This time it is at Old Trafford, at the Etihad. They were 4-0 down at half-time in that game, and it was an absolute shocker for them that day, Karen. What's been the biggest difference since then? Can you pinpoint the majority of it on Casemiro's introduction to the side and Rashford's upturn in form?
It's that, but sometimes you have to go to these places and be humiliated at times. And at Brentford as well, you have to go places and go to low spots. And for the manager to think, OK, these players are big, I need this, I need that. Yes, Casemiro's come in. The defence has definitely improved. But I think this was just a place that they had to go through because you cannot, as Manchester United, ever have this ever again.
Yeah, it was an incredible showing from Manchester City, but Manchester United will not want another first half like that. Rashford, though, is in the best form we've seen in a long time, Tim, scoring in 6 consecutive matches for Manchester United in all competitions for the first time ever in his career. And it seems as though at the moment everything he touches goes into the back of the net. What's that like?
Well, that's a different Marcus Rashford to what we've seen in previous years. You know, someone who's attacking. It looks like he's really worked on his craft, on his game. He's got a great relationship with Christian Eriksen. We see there with the assists. Christian knows exactly where he's going to move. They work with each other day in, day out on the training pitch. He's got confidence. He's playing with a smile on his face for the first time for a long time. Look, he said himself, he's got his head right now. His head's ready to play football. He's cleared his personal life out, and he's happy on and off the field.
Do you know what it is as well, Tim? When you're playing up against a defence in training that have improved as well, as a striker, Marcus Rashford is now going up like a defence that really look like they pride themselves on clean sheets. So if training's gone up a notch and it's harder for him in training, you can see the impact it's had on the pitch for him, and I think that's been a big thing that they've really helped him in that for Manchester United and Rashford.
I think when you've got confidence around your squad, the in-house competition obviously helps. Martial's up there with him. You know, is he going to play tomorrow? It'd be interesting to see what Ten Hag does with the team selection. I think possibly he might try and thicken up the midfield and leave Marcus up there on his own with a little bit of pace either side of him. Be really interesting, the team selections. Yeah,
it will be. Wout Weghorst, who has been confirmed as a Manchester United signing earlier on today, will not be available for the Manchester derby tomorrow because the paperwork wasn't completed by the deadline it needed to be. But he seems to fit the style of what Erik Ten Hag wants to do because he likes a high-pressing player, Karen. He wants a big player in the box that can get on the end of those Casemiro, Eriksen crosses. And we saw in the World Cup what he can do, and he's had a good start to the season at Besiktas as well, on loan from Burnley. He has, and to be fair, Burnley's the patch where it hadn't really worked out. And look, that happens in some players' careers, but he's a different option. He really is, and I think that's what you need. I think Erik Ten Hag needs something different. As you said, he has that, and if he suits the profile that he's looking for, you know, it's a snippet of a deal, really. See how it is to the end of the season and see where they can really push on with him. Good signing, Tim?
Listen, Man United fans are not excited about this signing, and nor am I, really. I hope for Man United that Ten Hag's seen something in him where he can utilise him to the best of his ability. But let's have it right. If he hadn't scored him 2 goals against Argentina in the World Cup, on the basis of what we saw him playing for Burnley when he scored 2 goals, Man United wouldn't be signing him. So I find it very strange that a club the size of Man
I've
United...
got more hope, Jules.
I love your honesty, Tim. I love your
a club
honesty.
the size
I
of Man
like it.
United, this just tells you where they are in the moment.
They've been buying loads of players for loads of money for ages and it hasn't worked. Why don't they be smart in an acquisition?
Well, it has worked regarding Casemiro and Christian Eriksen didn't cost any money and they've been good players. And Varane looks like he's coming to form at the moment. So, look, I hope it works out for him, but I'm not holding my breath. I mean, if I was the manager of Man United, I wouldn't be signing them. But I'm not. I'm sitting here.
You're sitting here with us. Perhaps it's a short-term fix, Karen, for the time being until the end of the season when they maybe can get the striker that they really want. We'll see.
Which is...
I don't know. I'll wait and see, Tim. It deserves a round of applause. One does.
Yeah, because you can tell that they have great diamond. They're friends, aren't they?
I reckon we can do that.
Carl Walker with Carl Walker and John Stones.
Definitely not.
What was that?
He just went, do you think we could do that? And you went, yeah, that was Carl Walker and John Stones.
That was not intentional.
That was intentional. I feel you.
Okay. But a greater time as any to turn our attentions to the Manchester Derby. What are your thoughts?
It's mad because United are only 4 points behind City, which is crazy. Which, after you think about the start of the season that they had, you thought they were like going to struggle, but they're right there. If they beat them, then
They've won 8
right there.
They've won 8 in a row.
They can win the league.
They can. 8 in a row in all competitions. Like we're saying, like quietly going about their business. Not sort of everyone's talking about Arsenal. Everyone's talking about Manchester City.
How much of that owed largely to the recent form of a certain Marcus Rashford as well?
Yeah, he stepped it up. I don't know what juice he's drinking, but he's looking like the Rashford that we've always thought he could be. Do you know what I mean? Like even when he came on for England during the World Cup, he looked sharp, he looked really good, he scored a couple of goals. And then ever since he's come back from the World Cup, he's just been on fire.
It's nice to see, isn't it? Like someone that, Marcus Rashford really struggled with his form. So it's actually really nice to see a player like him come back and be playing so well. And he could be playing alongside Wout Weghorst soon, couldn't he?
He's looking forward to that. I'm gonna put this to you though. Being a fan of Chelsea, whose manager currently struggling.
Yeah.
What have you made of Erik ten Hag? With not just league position included, because I think that's a part of it, but what have you made about the challenges, the way he's overcome the challenges and the way he seems to have gone about his work?
I think he's handled every situation perfectly. And there has been so many difficult situations, obviously the Ronaldo one being the huge one, but the way he's gone about that, I think he feels like he's earned the respect of everyone, not just Manchester United fans, but football fans in general, the way he's gone about things and the difficult start they had as well. It was really difficult. That defeat to Brentford, probably the one that stands out. But the way he's turned it around, all the players are on board, they're playing a lovely way of lovely type of football, and it's all looking positive for Manchester United. Isn't it?
You know what's mad? You'd think there'd be a lot of tension because of that Manchester derby, but I want to show you guys what's been happening in the Manchester City dressing room. Look at this.
Tell you to go away. Easy. No, soft. Hey, John. These people are more in the but they're not more. You don't think a hippo would swim to you in the water. You think he could swim fast and good, but I don't know as much. A hippo is the most dangerous. I know.
All the important questions being answered at Manchester City.
I love how they were stretching first and then they moved on to the bikes and they're still talking about it.
Right,
it's a great conversation.
It's a very, very good question.
It is.
What's your answer though, bro?
Who would you rather swim with, a hippo or a crocodile?
I mean, there's something that just seems... I might be totally wrong with this, but I think if you get into a battle with a crocodile, there's only one winner and one loser.
They get you in a death roll.
I think with the crocodile, I think with a hippo,
Death roll.
with a hippo, I'll just be trying to sit on its back.
I'm not sure you could do
No.
that.
No, but in my head, I'll be thinking I can do.
I think
more
crocodiles
with a
has got
hippo.
bad.
Make friends with a hippo.
Crocodiles got bad PR. I think they're kind of cool, but the hippos, yeah. Them man are serious. You can't, you get me? They're bigger than you, they're faster than you, they've got bigger mouths than you.
Yeah.
Like, it's long.
So
In
is
every
a
other
hippo.
way.
Have you seen how big a hippo's
No, I'm saying,
mouth
I'm saying
is?
hippo. I'm
oh,
saying
and
hippos,
a crocodile
yeah.
as well, though.
Now,
eh?
crocodile's like, bro, I could.
No, yeah.
But that's what I feel with a hippo. If you can
No, it's
maybe
definitely a hippo.
swerve and dodge the...
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, I'd rather swim with a crocodile.
yeah.
I mean,
I'd rather not swim with any of them. Just,
yeah, I'll just stay on the
swim with a
shore and take the
crocodile
pictures.
yeah.